damage and, all this other stuff. How come we don't randomize the start time of the race?
Well, because it's all synced up, but Uncle's out to get
need more rando. We need more rando
Uncle's
in our life.
Okay. Uncle's out to get Weetabix, and we're going to start off with a heart piece on Link's house. In our first map check, we have a vanilla green pendant on Eastern Palace, and I believe blue is Desert Palace, so it'll be Tower of Hera is where that is, and I believe Crystal, unless for whatever reason, I believe a Crystal and Desert Palace. Yep, Crystal and Desert Palace. The trackers are up, and today's start is going to be a bow start. Yes, my favorite. Everyone's favorite.
No, the bow is the worst start. What are you talking about?
You get 30 shots, though. Hey, you get either, though.
Yeah, you never run out, so it's not exciting. We need something exciting, like bombs. Bombs are the best start.
I mean, the runners are going to be pretty happy to see the bow ridiculous this early in the game, so yeah, and Technolink's going to confirm that one of the crystals are on Desert Palace.
Chloe has missed like 6 shots trying to kill these green cards.
I mean, he's still gonna. Actually, not. I take that back. Sabatender is. Well, Dracaris running the Dragonair sprite. He's now in the lead. Again, these are going to be very, very similar, so not way too worried about it. And hey, we got a vanilla map.
Is this even rando?
Well, to be fair, this is standard, so you gotta expect that from time to time, because you're going to be going through that in that first sequence anyway. 6 minutes, maybe, preferably.
That's like a 1 in 8 chance.
Yeah.
So the thing with the bow, and like Samaria has the same problem too, because you have so many shots and you're just not gonna run out of ammo unless you're just absolutely crazy. You feel really pressured to kill everything you see, hoping to get a bomb. Better than Samaria though, it is faster to kill things with a bow. Just 1 arrow to kill everything except for the blue guards.
Yes, that is true.
But you can save a lot of time by not killing things. It does take a non-zero amount of time to shoot that bow. Chloe sounded 10 arrows, my gosh.
I think he'll be fine once he goes over to that key rat.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like he's missed like 1,000 shots, but he still has like 10 more shots to kill this one rat. That's what I'm saying. Like the resources, they're just too much. They should start with only 10 arrows instead of 30. That would be way more exciting. No one has found a bomb quite yet, despite the mass murder of green guards. Hopefully the ropes in the rope hallway will be more generous. Jakar is off to the early lead, though. He will be the first to reach that dark room.
Yep, and if you're not familiar with standard mode, you're going to notice that Dracaris, Chloe, and then Sabatender, and eventually Technolink, is going to get the lamp cone, even though they don't have the lamp right in the sanctuary, or not even like this house, the second chest, or second uncle, uncle, or even in Zelda's chest, or any of the chests for this sequence, because the game is hard-coded to give you that lamp.
Looks like Chloe and Jakaris both lucked into a bomb, killing their ropes. Sabatender and Technolink, however, they're still looking.
Okay, I did some research into some of the sprites. If anyone's curious about the sprites that are used, we have Chloe Power running the Fox sprite, Sabatender running Popaway from Secret of, and both Technolink and Dracaris are running Dragonite.
Sabatender does find a bomb. Technolink, our only runner without one. This might be bad. Bombs behind bombs. The red cane and a hookshot. Technolink, you need to find a bomb, dude.
Yeah, that is not. That's a rough spot for Technolink. It's a big salt in the wound. Once he finds bombs, Samaria and hookshot are behind it too. So.
All right, he found one. He found one. We're good.
Okay,
we're good.
Good. So he's gonna get a net game of 2 bombs, which is sad, but whatever. And no reaction.
Yeah, he had to spend a little time to get those bombs, but better now than having to come back here later. The hookshot is a very strong weapon early on in the game.
Yeah, 30 shots right at the start of the game, and Technolink only has a tenth of that now. Now, from this point forward, either Dracaris or Chloe Power can either go up into the Lumberjack or the Lost Woods, and both are opting to go for the Lost Woods. Sabatender, however, going to do the early South Shore checks.
Yeah, a little bit of route deviation here. Nobody wants to check Lumberjack. Nope. Technolink's gonna do it.
So yeah, here's Technolink going for the the tree pull here, and it's gonna be fairies, which if we had a bottle early and a net, we would have had early fairies, but no, Technolink gonna go to that Lumberjack cave, and I always like to do this play as soon as I come out. It looks like it's got 10 arrows. We're not going to be fighting Aga solely for those 10 arrows.
Maybe Technolink will, because he only has 3.
I don't think there'll be a big difference here. So Chloe and Dracaris going through the Blind's Hut. This Kakariko usually is what defines this seed, and we get ourselves an early sword and 10 arrows along with a heart piece and 3 bombs. There's a lamp over on Sabatender, so maybe Aga? Once we find another sword, of course, or cape.
Wow, that's unusual. Sabatender not continuing on to Ice Rod Cave.
I think his belief is that he wants to go to Eastern Palace first, because since we got the bow ridiculously early, this is the uncle bow.
Yeah, the idea here is if you do Mini Moldorm Cave but you don't do Ice Rod Cave at the same time, you are saying I will never go to Ice Rod Cave unless I find Flute or Flippers. So say if Flute or Flippers were in that location, it can be trouble for Sabatender.
And Chloe and Dracaris pretty much simultaneously grabbing Blue Mail and a whole bunch of money to boot. And Dracaris and Chloe Power get half off their investment to the bottle vendor. And we got a glove over on Sabatender's side in the Sahasrara hut.
And he's going to continue into Eastern Palace. This makes... Oh, never mind. Changed his mind. Whoop.
Not sure why Sabatender wanted to do that.
Yeah, that's surprising me that he didn't continue, because I know it's a pendant, but you have the bow, you have the lamp. It's even green pendant, so 2 items behind that bow. I feel like most runners are going to be doing Eastern Palace this seed. Pendant.
Yeah.
Be darned.
And plus, since we found the lamp, this means that it's likely that they want to full clear it and then turn in that green pendant, because that is it is now you're able to logically clear that.
I think Sabatender will instead head up the mountain. He can get a lot of checks up there. Hookshot gives him access to East Death Mountain, and with the lamp, it's all in logic.
Yeah, but considering that, actually, now that I think, we have 2 items on top. We have 2 items on both top of Spectacle Rock and inside Spectacle Rock. We get like 7 items out of Paradox Cave, and then we get the one in Spiral Cave, as well as the Floating Island. So I guess in his mind, he wants to go for the item density rather than just go for Eastern Palace.
Dracarys hopping into the water to see what's sitting on that island. It didn't look like anything important, and he'll head over to Eastern and Sahasrahla as well. Chloe heading down to South Shore, where he'll find a nifty lamp. Oh, misses that hookshot clip, though.
Yeah, the hookshot clip isn't too bad. The timing on that particular one is kind of tricky, though, I will admit.
And Dracarys is so committed to Eastern Palace that he's not even going to go into Sahasrahla's hut first. This way he'll only have to single dip Sahasrahla's hut, being able to turn in that green pendant at the same time he picks up those gloves. Sabotender, no!
Oh, it's a rough death. Although he did get the save points, so it's going to be a bit of a setback, but it won't really cost him that much, in my opinion.
Chloe putting that ether medallion to use. Get out of here, mini mold arms. Nobody wants you.
That's a really interesting way of using that. Going through that mini mold cave. Something you don't normally see. We got a heart piece on top of Spectacle Rock. Saboteur thinking this is no hints, but no, this actually is. We have hints. This isn't open. This is standard, and there's nothing in there too.
I mean, I'd say it's probably more normal to blind check that item so you can grab the hint with it, but you know, it does take a lot longer to do that. So the expected value of any single hint is probably, you know, a green text hint. So time to be saved if it had nothing to say.
Does Saboteur even compete in the qualifiers or no?
I don't know. Chloe checking this ice rod cave that was skipped earlier. Was it good?
If so, it might.
I was pretty good.
Oh, that is going to cost him quite a bit, because considering now that he has the lamp, he might think Aga the Moon Pearl might be on the pyramid ledge.
We have Titans.
Well, there's your Darkwood access that we know of.
Well, I wouldn't expect Saboteur to do Aga before going over to Ice Heart Cave, but I would expect him to do Eastern before doing it.
Yeah, considering that he got the Titans Mist from Paradox, he might be thinking it's not Aga anymore once he decides to go that way and for the Ice Rod and then go over to Eastern. Chloe, since he now got that Moon Pearl out of Ice Rod Cave, he's going to do a water walk from this waterfall fairy check.
Nice boots out of logic for Chloe.
Okay, so flippers. We'll need the flippers to get the boots logically.
Zora, however, is completely in logic with the gloves, although Chloe doesn't know that yet. For 10 arrows. Sweet.
Alright, so that takes care of Zora's domain. Saboteur are now going through Spiral Cave.
Oh, Dracarys found a hammer. I assume that was in Eastern Palace.
Yeah, it looks like it must have been from Eastern. So we have quite a lot of the Dark World available to us once we get all the pieces of the puzzle, especially for Chloe Power.
This can be quite uncomfortable to route when you have both Hammer and Mitts early, because basically you can do everything.
Alright, Chloe's now gonna get his glove.
And once he walks into Eastern here and finds that hammer, that will be Dark World access. Same goes with Technolink, and then Dracarys has to go back to Sahasrar's hut, which he's about to turn in that green pendant, and he'll get Dark World access as well.
Yeah, I was gonna say, excellent quick kill from Dracarys. So now that Dracarys got his green pendant, he's gonna grab the glove since he's just right there.
The Master's Sword, nice.
Oh, that's actually really good. That is really good.
He's still missing that Moon Pearl, but he'll likely go to South Shore next.
Yeah,
which will lead him over to Ice Rod Cave.
Yeah, Dracarys doesn't really think this is Aga. I mean, the sword currently in his current perception, it might lead to Aga, considering the loadout that he has at the moment. But once he goes over that Ice Rock Cave and finds the Moon Pearl, we might see an early Hype Cave, maybe.
Well, he has gloves and hammer though. Like, it's. I mean, even if we didn't know where the Moon Pearl was, it's like really unlikely that it would be Aga required.
Yeah, of course. Since hammer early, and then of course the glove, and once we find the flippers, we have access to the boots and such. And it looks like we get a Vanilla Meyer.
Green Rupee Sun Prize.
Alright, so Chloe Power has his Dark World access now, and Dracarys is going to get his soon. So we did Technolink, in fact.
Yeah, I imagine they'll both finish this dungeon, though, just because of the super value on Armos.
Yeah, with the green pendant, that Master Sword being locked behind the green pendant that early in the game. Yeah, it's likely that they'll definitely want to go for that full clear on to Eastern Palace.
Well, they don't know it's the Master Sword. I just mean it's like an extra item check. You're already here. It takes a long time to get back. Like, you wouldn't skip this.
Of course, yeah.
And there is Dark World access for Dracarys, and I expect him to use that right now. Looks like he's going to Hype Cave.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll see what I'm going to name this today, because I like to name Hype Caves. It's been a thing that I've been doing as of late. You'll probably see me in the chat. I've always named Hype Caves, so maybe we'll get your average Hype Cave. I don't know. We'll see what happens.
Delphi asks, is this a Final Fantasy IV ROM hack? I don't know what to say to that, Delphi. This is obviously not Final Fantasy IV. Kid Umbra is correct, though. This is Final Fantasy III. Didn't even look alike, though, you know?
3 is technically 6 that we got in North America. Alright, time for Dracarys to go through Hype Cave. We got ourselves a heart piece. 20 rupees, a heart container, fire rod, okay, and red. So pretty much a red cave. A burning red cave. I don't know. That was horrible. I apologize.
Fire rod is a nice pickup. Looks like Dracarys is going to head on to Palace of Darkness, though. Don't think we know where the other pendant was.
Our trackers are going to be updating that pretty soon, and once Chloe decides to go for the Dark World, we'll get a confirmation about that.
Somebody else to do a map check.
We know about 5-6 crystals being Swamp Palace and Thieves' Town. Looks like a remaining pendant is on Palace of Darkness.
Oh, interesting that Dracarys is going here so soon. This makes a lot of sense to me, though. Like early bow typically means progression in pod. Although with the value on the green pendant from Armos, I feel like that's lessened a little bit.
Oh, of course. And 300 rupees from the box for Chloe.
Still, like, there's a very strong chance of finding progression here in Palace of Darkness. It's a lot of items, and you needed a lot of stuff to put everything in logic, and we have all of those things.
Yeah, 5 in total.
One of us always tells the truth. One of us always lies.
What do you mean? So I'm the one who tells the truth and you're the one who's lying? Or am I the one who's lying and you're the one who tells the truth?
The lumberjacks. Chloe talked to one of them.
Oh, I know what you. I know. I've seen it happen. I was trying to make it funny, but it was executed horribly.
I'd be the liar anyway.
And I'm the one who's just sitting there for the ride, aka I'm the smart one, or the one who tells the truth.
Technically getting bit by that murder dactyl. Ouch.
And there's bombos for Dracarys over in Palace Darkness.
Maybe useful. So Chloe's going to get rewarded super big for going to Death Mountain first like this, because he'll find the mitts up here, which gives him access to a bunch more checks.
Yep, it allows him to do Dark Mountain, and he's able to check what medallions required for Turtle Rock.
And by the way, guys, if nobody's been paying attention, Head is 100% in logic right now. What could it be?
True. That is true, considering Tower of Hera and Pod are remaining pendants, and we might be able to see a blind pull if one of the runners decides, okay, there might be something on pedestal, so I might as well just clear these pendant dungeons and see what's on there.
Yeah, I feel like Eastern and Pod, like, those would be full clear by most everybody, right? Just because of how accessible they are and the bow being like this huge tell. And then Tower of Hera is like, you know, relatively quick and it's on the way. Like, ugh. I think we're gonna see some ped pulls today.
Yeah, definitely. Speaking of, we actually, well, not even speaking of, we got powder from Dracarys on Pod again.
Another maybe useful item.
Well, that does let us check the magic bat. That is one thing.
Looks like Chloe's definitely going to walk into Tower of Hera. It's common play, though, for when this is a pendant, if it's firelocked, to just walk outside again. But if it's not firelocked, I would expect him to kill Moldorm. It is not firelocked.
Yay! So this definitely makes this a lot easier to get that pedestal pull if you really want to go for it.
Nice hint, Shield and Mimicate, and a unique item in the map chest.
Yep, is the arrow, not the heart container, but the arrow.
The arrow of destiny.
No, just the arrow.
Well, destiny's implied.
Maybe. It's an implied destiny. Maybe it's a curse arrow. Maybe
Dracarys is
tempt arrow?
death warping. He's going after Helmasaur King.
Idiom's telling you to stop lying, Koi.
I would never.
Oh, there's a unique item, Mr. Myers, so that might be something of use.
I have never told a lie in my entire life.
Anyway, Chloe up
Prove
to
me
fight
wrong.
Voldorm.
Oh my god, it's giant Caterpie!
Barely even looks like a Caterpie. It's got like two big old eyes that's like just bulging out, and I don't know where this is going. He's dead anyway, so there's that.
Oh, is that an item in the basement?
Looks to be so. We got that key from the big chest.
When it comes to like a single item location, Hair Basement is one of the worst in the game for time investment. And it looks like Chloe's going for it. We're not leaving anything behind today.
Yep, I don't blame him for going for this, considering that he has that in his head now.
We got the Silver Bean coffee break.
Yeah, yes, let's get some little bit of time to think about his routing and just see what he wants to go and do from here on out.
If you need to use the bathroom, now is the time.
Even though you got like, but 30 seconds, maybe. Now it's a good time to reap donations.
I timed it once. I forget now how long tower rooms take.
But hey, if we get that Burna, we can be able to do Spike Cave because we have plenty of hearts to do it. We have about 7. You said 7, right? Or was it 6?
For what?
For for Spike Cave, like if you want to just do it without, I think, just with potions, I believe. I forget the context.
Which item set are you talking about?
I was thinking of the context, like just Spike Cave, like the minimum you want to, how many minimal hearts to do it. I forget specifically the context of when I asked it originally, but never. Let's just not worry about that for now. Technolink on his way through
with the hook shot and no immunity items, they'd need 13 hearts.
Okay, yes, it must have been potions, I believe. So yeah, 13. If you want to just do about hookshot, and yeah, that's that was I was thinking originally. Then I thought potions. Okay, never mind. Let's just not dwell on that for now. Dracarys had already killed Helmasaur, going up the mountain now, and I wouldn't be surprised if he wants to do the ped pull because
yeah, you already got 2. You might as well get the 3rd one, right? Especially when he finds out it's not fire locked.
Yeah, it's high chance that ped we'll see a whole lot of ped pulls, even if it's not required. Like it's all convenient, just the matter of convenience.
And Chloe is our first runner to enter Dark Death Mountain. Lots of checks up here.
Well, once he gets stuck out of this white void.
This is a strategic frame pause.
Yes. Strategic frame pause.
All right, if we listen very carefully, we can figure out what he finds. Okay, that first one sounded like it was something good. I'm pretty sure.
We know there was one of those rupee. I heard the second one being rupees.
Yeah.
But
Somebody else will check it. We'll find out.
alright, we're all caught up to speed now. And ether is required for Turtle Rock. Alright. Off to Hookshot Cave for Chloe.
More like
And
Value Cave. Look at all those
Yep.
arrows, man.
yeah, all those nice wooden sticks.
Chloe's moving on. He'll do Spike Cave here. He must have a potion.
Yeah, that is the context I was thinking of. Anyway, Dracarys is gonna grab his Titan's Mitts and most likely want to go into Hera.
Oh, he has the cape. He found the cape.
Bingo! Alright, here we go.
He does not have enough magic, though.
Yeah, that's the problem. Oh, wait, he's got a potion.
dead. No, he's dead.
But he just...
He's dead.
Oh,
He made it!
oh.
Cutting it a little close there, buddy.
That is some god tier. And he got the refill too.
Like, so when you menu to the cape, there's like this little delay before it actually lets you activate it. I thought for sure the spike tick was gonna happen right before it, but he barely got the cape activated in time.
That is amazing, and he got the heart refill for it too, so he doesn't have to go to talk to Zelda just to get his refill. That is amazing.
A true gentleman would have kissed Zelda anyway. Dracarys headed into Tower of Hera. And he's gonna kill Moldorm for sure. Get that third pendant.
Yeah, and I wouldn't be surprised if he decides to go for that ped pole, considering, yes, like we have mentioned numerous times, the pendant placement is in a way it's set out in a way that it's very likely you might want to go and check blind pull that pedestal, even if you don't, like, you find like something like the book or something like that. Something to get into the Desert Palace or even progression, even if it's just something that's junk, you can at least get it out of the way.
Whoa, chat's telling me that standing behind the torch, you don't get hit by the spikes. Really? This is new information for me. I did not know that.
That I did not know of either. That is impressive game knowledge for Chloe Power.
Chloe headed into Thieves Town. He's not falling for this pendant bait. No siree. Crystal Dungeons all the way. Meanwhile, Sabatender clearing up Village of Outcasts. He'll probably head into Thieves Town right after this. And Dracarys takes down Giant Caterpie for pendant number 3 before his first crystal. Let's go, pedestal. Let's go. Keep in mind, though, guys, that even though the pendants were all like super accessible, it doesn't mean pedestal's going to be anything good. It's likely, 20 rupees or whatever. Chloe setting up a death orb, it seems like. Those spikes are being mean.
Like going to check the magic bats.
Aw, the Hera hint. Oh, poor Chloe.
Yeah, only 20 rupees on the magic bat, and Dracaris is opening up Turtle Rock. Looks like he's willing to go. Actually, he's just going to open it up and just head out once he comes back, once he gets that ice rod.
I don't know if he's going to go into Hera at this juncture. Like, there's a lot of the game that he has access to right now. Going into Hera without the ice rod, maybe not the best play he can make this time. Definitely an option though. Chloe down to 1 heart here in Thieves Town. 1 room with bad RNG will spell death. Alright, this is a scary room right here. Grabbing these hearts, there's 2 hearts underneath these pots, but taking the time to grab them can give the... Oh, there he is! The Red Zazek's time to center himself and put himself in the way. Alright, so net gain of 2 hearts still. It's pretty good. Oh, Jakara's going into Turtle Rock. Oh my god! Nice cane hint.
Yep. Dracaris now in Turtle Rock, which is actually interesting for me. This way isn't too bad. He can go all the way up until Laser Bridge.
Yeah, unfortunately, he will be unable to finish the dungeon unless he happens to find the ice right here, which, if that happens, like, he's so far ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, this is a big gamble for Dracaris. Chloe Power on the blind fight.
If he doesn't find the ice right here, this is effectively like a 3-minute time loss to have to come back here later.
Mm-hmm. And Chloe gets half magic for blind and has drawn first blood, getting the first crystal of the race.
If it's a required dip, well, if it's required dip, it's because whatever you find in Turtle Rock leads to the ice rod, which is essentially ice rod in Turtle Rock.
Mm-hmm. So Dracaris on the most annoying room of the game, the Chain Chomp room.
He got bit.
Hold on with 1 heart, which is
enough. That's really what it is. It's enough.
Yeah, it's enough. Yeah, that is scary, but this remaining part won't be too bad. And hey, you get to powder a whole bunch of fairies in the upcoming big key chest area. Like, Chloe Power opting to do.
Mothula is not cooperating for Technolink.
And 3 digs for 20 rupees.
There goes the bug. Get out of here, Mothula.
And the sad thing, too, is that considering Dracaris' routing, this is all in logic. So if he happens to find the ice rod here, which for his gamble it will be huge.
Yeah, when you have like early access to TR, it's really likely that there will be progression here. But I mean, ideally, it is the ice rod itself.
Yeah, if you find the ice rod here, then you're golden, and you'll pretty much have a huge advantage over everyone else, and so on and so on. We're just repeating ourselves.
And there's the flute in Turtle Rock.
Excellent pickup for Dracaris.
Yeah, definitely something he was looking for.
Get access to my area now. And hey, if we find out that Bombos is required for Misery Mire, then Dracaris might just want to go in there too.
Chloe's headed to Pod? He did find the fire rod in Hype Cave, right?
He did.
It's a little surprising to see him go into Pod because, like he didn't go here immediately, you know? Like, so he didn't value coming to this Pen Intention right away like everybody else did. And then finding the fire rod gives you access to 2 more crystal dungeons. So it seems weird to go into Pod now. I feel like if you don't do it right away, like you should just keep putting it off while you have crystal dungeons to do. But it's still like a high value area, and we know that this leads to Bombos and Powder.
Mm-hmm. And to answer something in chat, the boosts are on Waterfall Fairy, which we need the flippers to get logical.
The mirror, oh my god. Turtle Rock of value.
This is awesome for Dracaris, and we got the heart container.
So no ice rod, but we got some pretty good stuff here. Mirror and a flute in Turtle Rock.
Yeah, so Dracaris it is a required double dip for his routing, but considering that he got the flute and the mirror from there, it's likely that he wants to go and do the entire Mire area. He can do Desert Palace now. He can do Checkerboard Cave after he's done with Misery Mire, or even just before Misery Mire too. Just really depends on his routing as he goes to the Mire area.
Yeah, it's not unlikely that those 2 items will lead him to the ice rod, and this will just be a straight up required double dip of TR.
Yeah, we did find a hint though that said that the unique item is on Misery Mire as Dracaris activates his flute. I don't know if that will actually be that ice rod. I don't think it would be, but if it does happen to be there, he can just completely clear Turtle Rock. Assuming though Bombos is required to enter Misery Mire or the Ether.
Alright, Dracaris has flute. He's got mirror. Let's go do Mothula into Ped.
Yep, this play for him will work out well. He can do a crystal dungeon and pull the pedestal.
Let's see, Sabatender going through Skull Woods on his way back to Thieves Town. Technolink going into Thieves Town now.
We're actually doing the intended routes that you're supposed to be doing, I believe. You throw the bomb onto the crystal switch and you just run through. I believe that's how you do it, normally. Or that I just shoot air with the bow. I don't know. I'm not Nintendo.
The intended route?
The intended route, yeah.
Oh, I don't know what Nintendo intended.
I'm assuming they would need the bow or a bomb.
I just want to see this pet check, man, but we're going to have to wait for Dracarys to kill Mothula.
Who knows? We might get a pet check like right now before he kills Mothula.
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm just saying it might be a thing, but I'm not Dracarys, so.
We usually do it after Mothula because killing Mothula puts you in like the perfect spot to mirror.
Of course, yeah, I know that. Just I'm just thinking, just if it would be absurd for him to just go and do the pet check first before killing Mothula, and Chloe Power takes a death warp. Will he go and kill Helmasaur? And yes, he will.
Yeah, I mean, this like makes a lot of sense for Chloe as well. Just like for Dracarys and Tower of Hera, we already have 2 pendants. Might as well get the 3rd. And Helmasaur does have an item, I believe. He does.
And watch, like, if we find something like, I don't know, this is sounds crazy, but Ice Rod on pedestal would be glorious. That or silver arrows. That might be a good reward. Or maybe
Ice Rod on Ped would be so frustrating for Dracarys because that is accessible before he went into TR.
Yeah.
Like for him, he really wants the Flute of the Mirror to be locking the Ice Rod at this point.
Yeah. Considering how he got there to begin with. So there goes Mothula. And yep, he's gonna pull that mirror and do the blind pull. Alright, so for our pedestal. Wait. Oh,
no, we got one more item.
Yep, he's got to get another item. Hold on, guys. Hold on. This won't take too long. This won't take long. He's got to be here. Okay, now we can check the pedestal, and there's our Quake. So as far as Dracarys is concerned, he doesn't have to worry about medallions at all. So he can just go into Misery Mire anytime he wants. Okay, so for his... So now, for his pedestal pull, we're gonna get... Wait for it.
Da 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 da. Tempered Sword, nice.
Hey!
Not
Vanilla.
bad! Not bad.
Hey! That is actually not bad for Dracarys. I
don't know if it was worth, like, killing, like, doing all of Tower of Hera, killing Pendant, Helmasaur, and everything, but, you know, it's something. It's something.
Yeah, it's something.
Something is better than nothing.
Yep, it'll help Dracarys, definitely, so I guess we can we can consider this a Schrodinger's pet save? I don't know.
I don't know what that means.
I have no idea either. Just something came at the top of my head because of how dumb it sounds.
Render,
Yes.
when you play the game, do you kiss Zelda or the old man?
Zelda.
You kiss Zelda, right? Because you're a rational human being. Chloe,
Yeah.
however, kissed the old man.
Why would you do that? Why
I know
would
you
do
have
that,
a choice here. There's a choice here. There is no time difference between them. So why would you choose the old man?
Yeah, I mean, they are practically the same time. They have like you don't even choose one other. So for Chloe Power, now we get music for this one, and he's gonna get his Tempered Sword. It's not required, yes, but like, hey, it's nice to have. Now you got like a Tempered Sword, and ta-da! Thanks, game. Thanks for that.
I think Recidador also kisses the old man. Is it true? Alright, Chloe heading back to the Dark World to do... Oh, there's flippers, though, in Mire. Chloe headed to Skull Woods.
Okay, so for Chikaris, now him finding that flippers, it looks like, in Misery Mire, that fulfills the hint saying the unique item is on Misery Mire, and Chikaris has a pretty steady advantage.
I don't think we have the information necessary to know that, though. Like, if the Ice Rod is just, like, in Ice Palace or something and somebody else grabs it before going into TR, Dracarys is behind by, like, 3 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
And then at the same time, like, the Flute in the Mirror leads to a bunch of locations, and if these locations don't lead to more progression, like, the flippers are going to be, like, the first thing everybody finds being in a Crystal Dungeon. But, like, if Dracarys goes to Graveyard Ledge and to Cave 45 and all that, everybody else manages to skip those. Like, again, that's more time loss. This TR dip that Dracarys did, it feels really good right now, but until we know where that Ice Rod is, there's no telling.
Yeah, it's the tricky thing. That Ice Rod can be quite a nuisance. It's just pretty much the deal breaker here of a seed. Especially in a seed like this, where you have access to Turtle Rock, and you get, of course, Flute and Mirror, but you feel good about it.
Chloe! No!
Wait, what?
So Chloe killed the Gibdo and got the small key. But the Wallmaster landed right on top of the small key. Chloe tried to grab it without getting picked up, but was unsuccessful.
Oh, jeez. Yikes. Alright, Chloe Power now going to be doing Mothra and not going to be picked up by a Wallmaster.
Chloe having a much easier time with Mothula. That Tempered Sword is pretty strong.
Mm-hmm. That's why you get it in the NMG run. Saboteur taking a Death Warp to get possibly to kill the Hellas Arcane and get his Tempered Sword from the pedestal. Yep, that's what it's going to be doing.
Jakar is still looking for that second item in Mire, I believe. Looks like it's going to be on Vitreous himself. Just to respond to chat here, Ice Palace always logically requires the flippers, but like it's very easily sequence breakable by all our runners. They can all fake flipper there, and we may see somebody do that before going into Turtle Rock without the Ice Rod. Okay, no one's done it yet, though, and we don't know where the Ice Rod is. It's not necessarily in Ice Palace or anything.
I was thinking about this. Now that Dracarys has the flippers, he can logically get the boots. So the routing, how the C wants you to get those boots in particular, is you have to go into Skull Woods, get you have to go into Turtle Rock to get your mirror and flippers. Not mirror and flute, rather. And then you flute over to 6, go and unlock Misery Mire, get your flippers, and match where your boots are. And Dracarys is going to do a trick where if you use your cape and just continuously slash your sword, you cut down on magic consumption. Because the game is weird when it does multiple things at once.
Just 20 rupees on Vitreous. But that is crystal number 2 for Dracarys.
Yeah, about 55 minutes in.
And I expect him to go into Desert here. I mean, it might just be Boots Lock, but at least he'll learn that information.
Yeah, and if he decides to go over to the Waterfall Ferry, he might want to just consider getting those boots.
Waterfall Ferry, unfortunately, is like kind of out of the way for Dracarys at this point. Like, he can full clear Thieves Town and Ice Palace and Swamp Palace. Doing the regular flipper checks, maybe not the highest priority for him.
Yeah, and that is boots locked, so he's gonna have a hard time. He won't be, if he really wants to get those boots, he's gonna go way out of his way to Waterfall Ferry, and then just go on his merry way. But since Chloe does have the boots, because he did sequence break that, we might be able to see if he decides to go follow the breadcrumbs and have a required double dip if possible. If we don't find the ice rod anywhere else, that's like in his mind, if we're just all eyes are on Dracarys right now, then yeah, that's going to be an interesting little situation. Chloe going to do his magic bats. Dracarys off to do Agina's cave. And Saboteur is going to get his temper sword.
I'm curious what Dracarys will do next. Like, he has lots of different options available to him. Like, item density wise, maybe like Thieves Town into Smith Sequence into Swamp. But like gaming the game, maybe go straight to Ice Palace.
Yeah. I believe that's what he's going to be doing now. I think he's going to do his flipper checks.
Ice Palace.
Yeah, I thought he's going to do his flipper checks. It's likely that he might be doing his flipper checks. And if that's the case, then he's going to get his boots, which, given that he's already in the Ice Palace area, he might want to put off Desert Palace until the very end.
Technically getting bodied by giant Caterpie.
Oh, there's that ice rod.
Oh my god. Wait, Chloe didn't sequence break the hobo?
No, he did not.
Oh
he went directly for Waterfall Ferry.
Okay.
He got Dracarys has the ice rod.
It was a logically required double dip of Turtle Rock, but it was immensely sequence breakable, but nobody did the sequence break.
That is great news for Dracarys.
I mean, I knew Chloe sequence broke to the flipper checks, but like typically you do hobo with that. I can't believe he didn't check hobo.
And actually, now that I think about it, we're in no mode.
That's right, guys. We know where all the things are because we are smarter than the runners. If they knew what we knew, they would be done.
And blue potion for purple chest. Just a little bit of Gatorade, I guess. So you now need. So that means logically, yes, it's a logical double dip because you need to get that flip. You need to get the flute in the mirror to get well, at least specifically the flute.
Yeah,
get
flip from
your
PR to get to Flippers and Mire to get to Ice Rod.
Yep.
And Hobo.
Yep, and also we found Red Bailey in the Gideon's Cave.
Yeah, so I believe that Dracarys is going to full clear Ice Palace here, and then mirror and do the flipper checks right after. I mean, he might skip the flipper checks thinking, oh, it takes a long time to do Zora, and I have other crystal dungeons, but likely he'll do flipper checks after this.
Yeah, it's definitely likely that he will do his flipper checks, and then that'll lead him in the direction of the boots, and that will be go mode for Dracarys. Just a bit over an hour from now. Well, just a bit from an hour and on his timer.
Why did you not do Hobo though, Chloe?
Yeah,
Chloe would be so far ahead if he had done Hobo.
Yeah, if Chloe found the Ice Rod and did his sequence break, then that would be amazing. In his own right, and at this point in the game, I guess safely say that Dracarys has the lead, just because of that, just because of the fact that he didn't, Lloyd never did.
Yeah, Dracarys definitely has an advantage. Like other people, like the other runners, they still have an opportunity. They could do the flipper checks. Like we see Sabotender going through Ice Palace now. After doing fake flippers. Like they have the opportunity to do the fake flipper checks before going to Ice Palace and maybe gain that time over Dracarys, but it's unlikely at this point. But that's really something you do early in the game, not when you have super awesome crystal dungeons to go do. But Dracarys still has to make his way to Waterfall Ferry, which we don't know for sure if he's going to do that. And if he ends up like, if he skips it, like full clears Swamp and full clears Steve's Town and full clears Ice, you know, maybe he loses this lead that he's generated for himself. Chloe actually doing another fake flipper to get over to the potion shop a little quicker. But we know for sure that the mushroom will not be anything worthwhile. Technolink, however, has gone into Turtle Rock, where he will find progression. But sadly, no Ice Rod.
Yeah, but he will be leading in the right direction to it. Logically, of course.
Yeah, it's just Waterfall Ferry is like so out of the way.
Yeah, it's in such a situation where you have to do your flipper checks if you really want to go for it. Either that or you're considering Ice Palace and you want to get that out of the way before you go into it. Or heck, even after you do it. So, yeah, there you go. But excellent fight for Dracarys on Cold Stare. It's shocking that Technolink never just cleared Hera, unless he wants to do it immediately after he gets Turtle Rock, once he gets his mirror.
No, I think he's committed to not doing Hera. Right, because he doesn't know the mirror is going to be in here. So when he went into the Dark World on the mountain, he's saying no Hera. He may change his mind once he does find that mirror, but I doubt it. Because the mirror and the flute are going to give him access to all this other really awesome stuff.
Yeah, usually he's the kind of guy that wants to do wants to go over the pedestal no matter what. But like,
and Dracarys skips the flipper checks, you guys.
But
oh no!
To be fair, Dracarys' play into Swamp Palace won't be that bad. And heck, he will be in the general vicinity of the flipper checks.
Yeah, but he's not gonna do them. he's gonna go up to Thieves Town after this.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, considering the way that Swamp Palace is laid out, if you consider just a fork in a road, I believe his mind wants to lean towards the higher density of Thieves Town rather than just the flipper checks.
Yeah, I feel like if he was going to do the flipper checks, he was going to do them immediately after Ice Palace. Oh, well, that hint changes everything, though. A unique item with a great fairy.
Yeah, that will definitely change his mind considering that hint. And we know that hint's the boots.
Can't apply to Pyramid Fairy too.
Yeah, that's the case. And since the 5-6 crystals are laid out as Swamp Palace and Thieves Town, he might be opting to go for the he might be opting to go for the Pyramid Fairy first before committing to Waterfall Fairy. It'll lead him a little behind, but so there's a flute for Technolink.
So from Dracarys' point of view, a unique item behind a Great Fairy is like very, very, very likely to be the boots. I could see a world where he just dips over to Waterfall Fairy real quick, just because that's so much quicker than doing the whole Pyramid Fairy sequence.
Yeah, considering that he would have to go all the way to Thieves Town, which he hasn't cleared yet, and considering that the Waterfall Fairy is just right to your right. I don't know where that went, but yeah, I feel like the play to Waterfall Fairy would make sense in his mind.
Looks like he is go-moding the rest of Swamp at this point after finding that hint. He's banking everything on that referring to the boots, which he doesn't know for sure it's the boots. There's several unique items that he has not seen yet.
Yeah, we have Shovel, the Bug Net, the Book, the Burna, and the other boom. Well, not really the other Boomerang, because I think we found that already. But yeah, for him, it's the other Boomerang. And no, shields don't count because it specifically says a shield. Nice phase 1 for Dracarys. And we found silver arrows. Did we find that? Where did we find that?
Silvers were in a dungeon somewhere in a place. Ice Palace.
It was an Ice Palace? Oh. Excellent. I didn't even catch that.
Did Technolink found the mirror, right? Surely.
He did.
Okay, so Dracarys finishes Swamp. Where are you fluting? Go to Waterfall Fairy. He's going to Waterfall Fairy!
Yep, that's the... Yeah, considering that his mindset thinks that it's since Waterfall Fairy is that close by, we're gonna have our first runner in go mode. And this is excellent routing for Dracarys. So at 1 hour, 9 minutes and 55 4 seconds. Dracaris is the first runner to be in go mode.
Go mode.
Immediately calling for Desert Palace. And yep, Technolink actually did get his Tower Hera, so there's his Tempered Sword.
So everybody blind pulls the pedestal this seed.
I mean, we didn't find the book. You had to blind pull it to get your sword.
Yeah, but they could have just like not pulled the pedestal.
I mean, yeah, cause it's just that the pendant placement, as we said numerous times, it was so convenient for them, especially for the item placement.
So this is kind of cute. Dracaris is going to go mode Thieves Town in this seed. This is it's pretty rare that you get to see where you go mode Thieves Town.
Yeah, he ran out of this seed ridiculously well, and his play for Turtle Rock first before anything else definitely paid out, especially when you consider Chloe never did get the Ice Rod from his fake flippers. It just went for the Waterwolf Fairy entirely.
How do you not do Hobo with? Oh my god.
Yeah, I don't. It's interesting.
I mean, it's slow. It is slow to go after Hobo, and it's just a single item location. It feels so weird to me to sequence break this part of the flippers, but not the other part of the flippers.
Yeah, it's interesting for Chloe's placement and how he. I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but the most important thing is Dracaris got his Desert Palace Crystal, his 5th.
We also still haven't seen that Force Sword. Likely in Ganon's Tower at this point, though. Actually, maybe absolutely in Ganon's Tower. Have we seen everything? No, we haven't seen like the rest of the swamp. That's right.
Yeah, it's pretty much safe to assume that left side swamp has enough.
Big key in the second chest. Dracaris can skip everything else.
Yeah, this is excellent. The key placement for that is great, considering since it's just the second chest in the first 4 chests of Thieves Town, he can just go straight towards the Maiden, kill blind, and get his half magic.
Yeah, as long as you don't get a Thieves Town where the big key isn't in those first 4, it's gonna be okay. You're supposed to correct me and say that the big key's always in the first 4. Render.
I don't really need to remind you about that. I'm not stupid.
That would be terrifying.
I'm not stupid. Quite.
I don't think you're stupid. I thought I wanted you to correct me because I was pretending to be stupid. Oro says he thought he heard me wrong because what I said was so dumb. Wow. My feelings. They hurt.
It's just one crewman. right? So, actually, speaking of crew, you might want to just follow our crew. We have Sapphire and Shade on tracking, of course, myself and Koi on tracker. And be sure to follow the runners. They're actually putting in a really, really good performance, and this is one exciting scene for you to watch and maybe get you involved in the randomizer. So be sure to follow Chloe Power, Sabatender, Dracaris, and Technolink. And if you feel like this is interesting, go on to alttpr.org.com, whatever. Just search ALTTPR, and you'll find it. And you might want to play it for yourself. I see the robot faces, and I'm like thinking, am I being actually a robot? I'm just checking my ping.
You're fine.
Okay, good.
They're just doing it to mess with you.
Yeah.
Don't let them get to you, renderer. Okay.
I'm just checking my packet loss to see how bad it is. I'm not familiar with Wi-Fi.
As long as I can understand you, it's okay. I don't judge.
Okay, good.
I think robots are cool.
Yeah, robots are cool.
That is Dracaris' 6th crystal from Blind. We're headed back to Turtle Rock to finish this game. He's having a little trouble with that hook speed. He wasn't walking down far enough to actually touch the stairs. The question still remains how long it's going to take everybody else to get to Waterfall Ferry.
Well, considering Sabatender and Technolink have already got their flippers, or soon to be getting their flippers.
Yeah.
Yeah, at this point, it's Dracaris' race to lose.
Oh yeah, he's definitely ahead. Like just merely having the flute in the mirror earlier definitely saved him a bunch of time, and he got to skip like the whole Smith sequence, which several runners did without the mirror, which is exceptionally slow. I don't know, Night Shifter. Like Hobo on the way to Ice Palace is a really easy routing decision to make, but like doing Waterfall Ferry before Ice Palace is not. Which is exactly what we saw from Dracaris, right? He did Hobo into Ice Palace, and then he dipped out on the rest of the flipper checks to go to Swamp, and then got bailed out by that hint.
So for Dracaris, since he already went there originally, he just needs to get back to Laser Bridge, and he's good to go. I'm not even like go back to Laser Bridge, but you get the idea. You need to get to Trimax.
Chloe's gonna be kicking himself so hard when he finds out where the ice rod was, though. I don't know. Maybe he's just not familiar with the fake flipper from Hobo, and maybe that's why he skipped it. I doubt it though, because Chloe's like a really good runner.
Of course. All right, Dracaris out to Trimax.
What? No cane dash? Come on, Dracaris.
I mean, really, what gives? He's already like way ahead. He doesn't have anything to lose.
Well, he could have been like 2 more seconds ahead if he had done the cane dash.
Well, true, but that's just mere seconds. And I know seconds add up a lot over a course of a run, but at this point, I just want to see him win the whole race. I don't care what it takes. Just win the race.
Nice quick kill there in phase 2. And Dracarys takes down Trinex. Guys, that's 7 crystals. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
And we get perfect. But it could be classified as an oops all dungeons, but not really. So Dracarys got his 7 crystal and is off to Ganon's tower. Inside Ganon's tower, there are 22 locations where the big key could be. It could be in the Dark Magician room or the Stoppos room, Fire Snake room, the Compass room, the Rando room. If you're masochistic enough.
Every location.
No, yeah.
Please stop.
If you're masochistic enough, you'll be in the tower room. My guess will always be the same though. 11, preferably Rando room.
You guys want to guess? Do so now. 1 to 22. Where will this big key be?
And Dracarys is off into Ganon's tower. First location is going to be a small key, which he's going to grab. So that's 1. Going for left first.
Technolink finds his boots and waterfall fairy like really quickly after getting those flippers. He still has to go to Hobo too, though.
Right, number 2, a key. Number 3, a single rupee. Number 4, a shield. There we go. And number 5, we have a compass. And it looks like he's going to do Dark Magician, considering he got all those keys.
Yeah, that means nothing.
Alright, number 6. 20 rupees. Number 7. Another small key. Okay, so that's a lot of keys, and yeah, he's gonna fully commit to that Dark Magician stress.
Dark Magician is actually fallen out of favor. Everybody does Pink Magician now, where you mirror after Compass Room.
Pink Magician? Isn't that Dark Magician, girl?
Dark Magician would be to go all the way to Ice Armos after doing Southwest Room. But if he mirrors after Compass Room, we call it Pink Magician instead.
Oh, no. Pink Magician doesn't sound too much Yu-Gi-Oh! Let's call it Dark Magician Girl strats. And
what?
Just it's a long story. So Technolink is now in go mode and is bonking his head against the wall because he should have done this earlier.
Yeah, if he had just done the fake flipper at the beginning of the game,
he would have been way into the lead. That was 11, by the way. All right, number 12. A shield. Our second shield.
we got Red Boom strats. Yeah, that's why Red Boom strats suck. This is why. If anybody's curious why we call Red Meringue the worst meringue, this is it.
Because it just gives you lag. whenever you use it. Alright, number 13, our map. And now off to random room, which is going to be 14, 15, 16, and 17. Alright, number 14, 50 rupees. Number 15, 20 rupees. Number 16, there's our big key. This is our closest guess. Is going to be Silky Avenger. Our closest first guess. No one gets 16 on the dot, but I like to be a little bit nice and go for the closest answer that was guessed first. But anyone who gets closer to, give yourselves a pat on the back. You deserve it. And yes, you will still get your unlimited random seed. Just go to ALTTPR.com or just search ALTTPR in Google and you'll find it. Just be sure to get a Japanese 1.0 version of Link to the Past.
I thought that book was in Swamp.
Oh, that's... Jeez.
I believe Chloe did check the hint for a unique item in the Great Fairy. He's just making sure it wasn't just in Flood Room instead.
Alright. Dracaris making their way through the gauntlet, about to approach Lamolus 2, or Lambo 2. Excellent placement for those Lambos. And he has left the gauntlet at 127.24, or 23, or 22, whatever. I don't want to be picky. Just giving you your options. Just make it that what you will. Koi did mention it prior, but it would have to be you'd have to mirror from the compass room, considering if you had gotten like a whole bunch of keys, and you don't need to get that pot key just to do the full-on Dark Magician. Even though technically it would be called Dark Magician Girl, but that's just my personal bias.
It's not referencing Yu-Gi-Oh! It's their name.
I know, but like, the guy was named Dark Magician, and I find it funny that it's named after like Yu-Gi-Oh! Monster. All right. Yeah, Reside or as a point. There is no such thing as a Pink Magician. There's Dark Magician Girl.
Yeah, it's the Dark Magician route, but modified by Pink Kitty Rose.
Oh, okay. There's your point. There
what?
It is.
It's
there's your
name.
That makes more sense now. PKR.
Okay.
PKR's the answer. And Dracaris got the Boulder treasure, by the way. So. Thank you, PKR. You have made another great contribution to the Link to the Past randomizer community.
I don't know if PKR was like the first one to do that route, but definitely popularized by her.
That's triple, by the way, on the Aga 2 fight.
Oh, do we got the double triple? Oh my god!
The setup!
The dream. The dream.
Setup! I mean, to be fair, he won't get a sub 130, but oh, it's so close. But it's like, hey, sub 145 is not bad, am I right?
Yeah, it's okay. There was a lot of time to be save this seed though. Like if like the pedestal was essentially just a bait, you know. All of Tower Hera could be skipped. I think all of Pod could be skipped. Like we didn't need Bombos for anything, right? Yeah, like all of Pod could be skipped, all of Tower Hera could be skipped, Pedestal could be skipped. Didn't have to double dip TR if you sequence broke to Hobo. Dracarys could have gotten the boots like way earlier than he did. Like ton of time to be saved this seed. But you know, did anybody in the race actually make all of those plays? We'll have to wait to find out.
Power actually went for the play to go for the Pyramid Fairy in hopes of finding that Ice Rod, but just came up empty. And now Sabatender and Technolink are making, well, Sabatender has already killed Argus, and Technolink is already making their way into.
Chloe's making the play. He's gonna do Hobo before going into Ice Palace. That's good for him.
So Dracarys doesn't have the setup with the Torch Glitch, but it doesn't matter for him. He's set. Nice doubles, and that is the game. Get your GGs in chat for Dracarys, as he's going to be now crossing that 1x3 bridge, and we'll get his official time in just a few seconds. And time.
GG!
Dracarys has finished first on the restream with an official SRL time of 1:31:39, and that is good for second place overall. And our overall winner is 1UP40 with a time of 1:21:07, and breaking news, he's got a new PB by just over 5 minutes.
Yeah, so finishing 10 minutes before Dracarys, you gotta think that he maybe he didn't double dip TR.
And looks like Dracarys is ready for an interview. We'll bring him in, right? Welcome aboard, Dracarys.
Hey, GG.
GG.
Frickin' fake flippers, am I right?
Yeah, I was kind of sad that the Ice Rod was not hard locked behind any item in Turtle Rock, but what can you do? This run still worked out way too well for what I did.
Yeah, or played to go into Turtle Rock before anything else, like while you were on the mountain. It was pretty crazy, but it paid off significantly. You got like huge advantage.
I mean, I wouldn't say it was crazy. In my situation, if I don't go into Turtle Rock right now, I will full clear the overworld first, in which case I will last location whatever is in Turtle Rock. So I just said, well, let's go in there. If there's nothing in there, I lose 4 minutes. But if there's something in there, I don't lose 20 minutes because I clear the overworld first.
Yeah, I think you ended up doing really well this seed because of that Turtle Rock dip. Like, even though you didn't have to double dip it if you had done the fake flipper early on, like having the flute in the mirror for like the entire seeds, like, you know, that helps a lot just with routing around, getting around quickly and saving time that way.
Yeah, and after Turtle Rock, the hints basically told me what to do anyway. I knew there was a unique item in Mire, so I just went into Mire. I've got the flippers, then saw the unique item hint in Desert, which, funnily enough, I actually got the ice from the first NPC I checked. Because I decided, well, let's just do Hobo into Ice Palace, and then, I don't know, do Catfish, Sora, stuff like that to see what NPC is a unique item. But then I just got it on the first NPC and decided, well, okay, that's probably the hint. Let's go Ice Palace and see if we can get a boots hint. And then Ice Palace didn't have the boots hint, but it allowed me to go mode Crystal Dungeons because of the unique item is on the boss hint. And then Swamp Palace just gave me the boots hint.
Oh, and actually, now that I think about it, the pendant placement was just perfect. Ridiculously perfect, and you got a free sword for it.
Yeah, I mean, that pedestal play early was kind of, I don't know. Not the best idea, probably, but it kind of worked out. I got 2 swords out of it from Green Pen and the pedestal, so it was kind of worth it. Even though pod just took a bit too long.
Perfectly fine. Like it was unlikely the pod was going to be as empty as it was. Like the early pod play, I totally agree with, even though it didn't turn into anything. And then at that point, Kara's just on the way, wasn't even firelocked.
Yeah, that was also my thought after doing pod. It's like, yeah, I can just quickly kill Moldorm and grab whatever some pedestal left or Skullwoods. It's like no time investment whatsoever anymore.
And you get a sword as a nice consolation prize. It didn't make up for the time lost, but it's still nice. You don't have to try as hard on Ganon.
Yeah, it was nice to have. Also for like the fights like Vintrios, because Vintrios is also faster with the Tempered Sword.
Yeah, a little bit. So on the restream, nobody did the fake flipper except for Chloe, and Chloe unfortunately only fake flippered to Waterfall Fairy and skipped Hobo. So everybody on the restream did that double dip of TR just like you did. But you did it way earlier and benefited from having the flute and mirror the whole stage.
I mean, I assume some people will also got stumped like by the hammer, because if you just go to Sahasrara and get your glove and you already have the hook shot and the lamp, you're thinking, yeah, let's not do East, let's do Death Mountain. Then you get your mitts and suddenly you have Dark Gold Axes, and maybe it takes you forever to get back to Easton for the hammer.
Yeah, the way the sea was laid out, it felt linear, but there was quite a number of options, but the whole thing in general, it was just all straight up linear.
It's funny you mentioned the hammer. I hadn't considered that somebody could get Mitz Merle and skip out on the hammer. What happened on the restream was one person did do that play, like you said, like went to the mountain before getting the hammer. So they found Mitz in Sahasrara's hut. But they had also skipped Ice Rod Cave, so they kept looking in Eastern Palace for the Moon Pearl.
Oh,
so they got kind of looked out there, right? I forget who that was. I think it was Sabotender.
It's probably already left my brain at the moment, but I will take your word for it. Say it's Sabotage.
At the time, all I could think was like, oh no, Sabotender's going to be really far behind because he skipped out on Ice Rod Cave, which we found out later was the Moon Pearl. But yeah, now that you mentioned that, like, skipping out on Ice Rod Cave actually saved him an immense amount of time, because he probably would not have done Eastern if he found the Moon Pearl in the midst before the hammer.
But I got nothing else. If you have any final thoughts, go ahead and speak your mind out.
Always skip Village of Outcasts, guys. It's a good play.
Yeah, it's pretty cute. You get to, like, your one, like, real go mode dungeon with Thieves Town, which everybody else always does super early. Luckily, the big key was in those first 4 chests, so you got to skip quite a few locations.
Yeah, I also go mode at Swamp Palace mostly because I had 2 hints for unique items and decided, well, one of those 2 is probably gonna be the boot, so let's just go mode this place and go for the hints instead.
Yeah, a gamble, but it was a pretty safe one. Hints were super helpful this seed. Like, would you have done the hobo check before Ice Palace if you hadn't found that friendly NPC hint?
Probably not, no. I would have just done Ice Palace and then checked Hobo and Waterfall Fairy, probably. Or maybe just not. I just don't like checking Hobo, to be honest. I think Hobo is just a bad location to check. So I only did it because of the hint.
I was really worried for you after you didn't do Waterfall Fairy after Ice Palace, because I felt like that was the time to do it if you were ever going to do it. But you got super bailed out by that Great Fairy hit.
Yeah, that hint saved me. I was expecting the boots to be on a boss because of the hint I had in Ice Palace, and I still had no boots in up to that point. But then Swamp Palace decided to just save me.
Yeah, what was our unique item on a boss? Like Berna on Trinex or something?
Yeah, that was also half magic on blind.
Oh, right. And Chloe picks up his 7th crystal, and we'll be headed to Ganon's Tower shortly. Technolink not too far behind, just starting his Trinex fight.
Yeah, and Technolink also kills Trinex, and he'll be up to get in his tower soon. It looks like Cole is going to save some time here and go full right.
Okay, I have a write-up of the naming and like the explanation of all the different GT routes. It's only full right if he goes all the way to Armos. If he mirrors after Compass Room, we call this the hybrid route.
Right.
After Compass.
It's so confusing. There's so many GT routes. I'm familiar with the standard route, the Dark Magician one, and that's it.
Full right is actually, it's like super uncommon to see somebody actually do that. And it's mostly just because the rooms after Compass Room are just so awful. Everybody hates them.
Oh, right. Oh, duh. I forgot that the big key was like somewhere else. And I was
It was
like,
in Random Room.
oh, it was in Random Room right now.
Was it Random Room?
No.
I don't know.
Oh, no, it couldn't be Random Room.
It was on the left side. I have no idea.
Yeah, so this is hybrid. So I actually legit thought this was on. It was on the Compass Room, but I must have forgot. But oh well. Technolink also in Ganon's Tower.
Yeah, the Dark Magician route is so named because it was popularized by a runner named Dark Magician, who was named after the Yu-Gi-Oh card or whatever.
Yes,
route is
yes,
not
I'm
named
fully aware
after, it's named after the player. No, I'm talking to chat, not to you.
I know, but like,
I know you know.
'cause I'm the guy who knows a little bit about Yu-Gi-Oh. I just don't have a full deck, but I have like at least want to try and get into this. It's so hard though, but whatever. All right, so Sabatender. Wonder what he's trying to do.
Yeah, I don't know. He's looking for the Ice Rod stuff. Looks like he's headed up to Greater Ledge.
Yeah, he's going all over Hyrule and Dark Hyrule, Dark World Hyrule, whatever you want to call it, just to look for that freaking Ice Rod.
Yeah, Hobo's just so far out of the way. Like if you don't do it with the checks that are around it, it can be really difficult to like not only like make the decision to go there, but to even remember that it was there if you hadn't done it already.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, okay. There it was Random Room. Okay, good to know. And that last poem was also a potion, in case you were wondering. So, if I'm not mistaken, that's all 4 bottles accounted for, and yep, that's so.
Yeah, there's lots of different facets to Randomizer. Like it's easy to say like, oh, Dracarys won because he lucked into all the items or something, but like that's only part of the truth, right? Like he also played really well and did things in an efficient way and made gambles that felt better to him. Like there's a lot more than just going to the right places and getting the things.
Yeah,
that's why we see like the same people winning races after race after races, even when they don't God vision every single seed. They play so well and it pays off.
this is of course if you don't consider Andy, because he goes. If you don't put him into the equation, then yeah, that point very much sticks. It's all about execution, routing it really well, just making gambles that feel good to you, and maybe I don't know, movement. I don't know. Well, to be fair, movement is part of execution anyway, so. Ooh. Chloe actually getting the powder onto the bunny being just the nick of time. And he did not get the silver arrows from Ice Palace, so he's going to be one of the only runners. No, actually, not the only runner. Technically, doesn't have silvers either. So he's going to be one of 2 runners who's going to do it silverless.
Jono the Rabbit asks, how fun do you find randoms to play rather than watch people race it? I'll let you take this one, Renderer.
It really depends on the seed, right? Because there are some seeds.
Letting you take this one. I'm going to take it now. Rando is the greatest game in all the world, and everybody should play it every day of their life if they want to have a good life.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting to get an ambiguous answer from you.
No. Let me finish. It really depends on the seed, right? Because there are some seeds that make you feel good, and like how Dracarys did it. Like this seed was really, really generous to Dracarys, and it really just comes down to either the runner or like the seed. The seed can either be ridiculously nice to you and give you practically a jet seed, or at the worst of times, you'll have an item in the most ridiculous spot imaginable, and you probably have pretty much put that in the back of your mind or pretty much orphaned it, and you just don't feel good. And of course, it also takes into consideration the runner in particular. The runner, if they don't feel like they're having a good time with a particular seed, then subsequently their plays are not going to stick well, as Chloe falls on Boulder 2. But
well, the thing with the bad seeds is like the bad seeds make the good seeds better, right?
Right.
Like the more horrible of a seed you just played, the better that good seed is finally going to feel.
Yeah, it feels like you pretty much awoken from like a week-long nightmare regarding like a bunch of bad seeds, and then you finally come to that one great dream of a really, really, really good seed that makes you really feel good. So that's pretty much if that answers your question, then I've done my work. I mean, to be fair, I've like an average of like 215, 230, somewhere around those lines. But I can't really say for certain because that happens to me a whole lot. It's always on Naga too, by the way. But
I might be biased because I play Rando every single day.
Yeah, you do it every night.
When I'm not playing it, I'm commentating or just watching other people play it.
Or if you really want to do
I
it again,
love
Mario
this game.
Maker.
Oh, there's our fourth sword.
And that was in the pre-Moldorm chest. So for Technolink, this will make his Silverwest fights a little bit quicker, but not enough. I don't think it'll be enough to justify overtaking Chloe. Unless he has a really, really good Aga 2. If anything, the Master Sword, not Master Sword, the Gold Sword gives you, just cuts down, I believe, a number of spins you need to do. Or it might just be the same, I don't know.
The Tempered Sword and the Butter Sword will be the same number of spins.
Okay, just checking.
Having the Butter Sword can make your like phase 1 and 2 faster, but like even with the Tempered Sword, you can still do those in one cycle.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a little more effort.
Yeah. So Technolink takes down Aga 2, does not get the double triple. But it's good enough. Chloe's now on to phase 3. Technolink's going to be starting his Ganon fight soon. Sabatender finishes off the Trinex, and he's going to be going to Ganon's Tower pretty soon. And Chloe is now on to phase 4. So what you really need to do, for those who don't know how to do silvers, first of all, you want to get the torch glitch. This makes this a lot more easier and less annoying to deal with. And what you need to do is you need to hit Ganon as he's teleporting, like 2 frames as he's teleporting. Typically, what the runners will do is they'll use spins, which gives them a 7 to 9 frame window as he's teleporting.
There's 12 spins to finish this. Silverless Ganon, like learning how to do these spins is, in my opinion, the most powerful tech in the entire game. Like, nothing is more important than knowing how to do this, because it's the only thing, like, you always fight Ganon every seed, so being able to skip an item location, the silver arrows, every single seed can be incredibly helpful.
Mm-hmm. And Chloe Power has killed Ganon. He has finished second place with an official SRL time of 1:22:53. That is good for 15th place over. Just to catch you up on the finishers, so far we have Illis24 in third place with time of 1:34:35. Bonta in fourth place with time of 1:35:14.
Skip the
Shire
times.
in fifth.
Don't read the times. It's too much information. You can just say the names.
All right. Let me try. Illis in third place. Bonta in fourth place. Shire in fifth place. Dragon Strike 1988 in sixth place. Nice name. Phyllis in seventh place. Voosh in eighth place. Goomba in ninth. Rounding up the top 10, we have this and Alex in 10th. Finag in 11th. Gem in 12th. Humbug, I think. I don't know. Humberg, I guess. I can't tell.
It's open to interpretation.
It's open to your interpretation, all right? Okay. Ravis in 14th place. And again, is dead for Technolink and will be getting his time pretty soon.
GG.
And then he's finished in third place on the restream with a time of 1:51:11 officially, and it's good for 16th place overall.
And Chloe has joined us here in the voice chat. Hi, Chloe.
Hi. How is everyone?
We're doing good. Oh, Techno's about to join us too.
Yep. Let me get him right. Hi, Techno.
Hi.
Yes.
So fake flippers, am I right?
Yeah, that was how you played the seed. You fake flippered, you went to Hype Cave, and then you went to Turtle Rock. And that was it. I mean,
This is the first time I haven't fake flippered in ages, and of course it punishes me.
it was like those 3 plays though. It was like fake flipper, then you pipe cave and turtle rock, and then from there you were set. Just do dungeons.
So I didn't realize that at the time, Chloe, but you actually did the fake flipper early and got those boots, which was fantastic. But it wasn't until like an hour and a half later when Dracarys went to Hobo that I realized that you had skipped that location. Is that something you normally do when you do a fake flipper, is skip out on Hobo?
I mean, I got Moon Pearl and Ice Rod Cave, so it's just like, whatever, I'll just go do Zora because I have the money. I was gonna do Zora anyways, and that was the only reason, like, I was over in Ice Rod Cave, which I was really happy about, because Moon Pearl was there. But yeah, I never really go to Hobo for that, just because it's usually easier to wait for the mirror flippers combination and do it in Dark World.
Well, I'm happy with this all dungeons below 2 hour seed.
Yeah, it feels good, you know, get that sub 2 even though you pulled the pedestal. Which all
I did it.
of you did. Every one of you did.
I figured all of us did, yeah.
Yeah, because the pendant layout was laid out in such a way you can pretty much do it no matter what you want to do. You have to do it whenever you want, and you can just do it like right now when you're going for Skull was something like. Yeah, that made it a lot more easier, and hey, you got a free sword out of it.
We had access to Hera really early. As soon as we had Dark World access, Pod was full clearable. So it was like...
So did all runners did bet.
Yeah, all 4 of the Restream runners.
How did Dracarys manage to get 20 minutes?
They didn't double dip Turtle Rock.
No, Dracarys did double dip TR.
Oh, they did. Well,
Yeah,
they're just amazing.
He did TR like well before everybody else though, so like he had, you know, mirror and flute like the whole seed. And then the hints in desert and swamp led him to the flipper locations. Like the friendly NPC got him to
the hints in swamp and desert?
Didn't we have a hint that said unique and unique and Misery Mire?
Yes,
we did. Yeah, he did Mire like super early, like right after Turtle Rock. But
yeah.
the hint in desert was like unique on a friendly NPC, and Hobo was one of the first ones he checked. And then the hint in Swamp was unique item with the Great Fairy, and he checked Waterfall Fairy before heading over to Pyramid Fairy.
Oh, see, I thought the unique on NPC was just Uncle.
I mean,
Yeah,
very
more or
much
less here as well. And at the same time, like, if you fake flip it to Hobo and then fake flip it to Waterfall, that explains how you can gain 30 minutes on others.
Yeah, I mean, I would have been in a much better spot if I had fake flipper to Hobo, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, because like if you had the Ice Rod, like you probably would have done Turtle Rock.
If I had the Ice Rod, I wouldn't have done a lot of the checks, because I did like a lot of Smith Chain and other stuff without the mirror, and that was slow.
Yeah, like, the only thing you would have needed after getting the mirror and flute would be like the flippers, and there was a unique item in Misery Mire.
I know. I was like, that's got to be something good. I don't want this to be a double dip Turtle Rock seed, which it was, but it also wasn't.
If anything, I'm surprised that more runners didn't end up making that play, because I feel like the early fake flippers is really common.
One up definitely did with that 120 time.
Yeah, it was more or less. I think I had the chance for double for your fake flipper, but I went to Eastern Palace instead, trying to follow the logic for once. And, well, this is what happens when you follow the logic. But I'm pretty happy with actually getting a sub 2 when finding boots like last location, pretty much. I think I got flippers in Mire and then immediately went to check the flipper locations. And that pretty much got me to a good spot.
I mean, I figured flippers were in Mire for a long time. It's just that Ice Rod.
I was hoping it was on Ped. I felt so smart when I found bombos in Pod.
I was hoping something was on Ped, but Pod was completely useless.
Yeah, Pada and Hera.
And
You
Hera.
skip
Hera
both of
was-
those. If you calculate the amount of time that you would have saved by just fake flippering, it's well,
Yeah, some seeds are like that.
but still sub 2 hours all dungeons is good.
I think the TR double dip by itself is just by itself, not even including the time from having mirror and flute early, is like 3 minutes or something.
And then you have pods full clear, which is another 7-8 minutes if you don't have boots and not have mirror.
Me and Techno are only, what, like a minute apart? I have 13 more item collection, because I probably did the boots so much earlier than him.
Yeah, you had the boots well before everybody else.
Yeah,
I was really hoping the boots were the only thing fake flipper was going to get me anyways. Oh well.
So does this change how you'll play this in the future?
No.
Do you think you'll do Hobo more?
Probably not. I don't like swimming up that channel. It's like 30-40 seconds.
well, all I know is that when in doubt, fake flip.
Rando get a rando, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like the difference from yesterday. Yesterday it was pod was gigantic, and today pod was, well, here a massive time. But yeah, rando gonna rando, and to be honest, I'm pretty happy I didn't find the boots early, because I would have made, like Chloe would have made a lot more before actually going into Turtle Rock.
Septender on his Ganon fight, he did pick up the silver arrows, which I guess neither of you guys found. They were in Ice Palace.
Oh,
Yeah, where?
I go moded Ice Pass.
I'm not sure which chest. Maybe
Was it something
the Ice Sea or
reasonable?
something? It was one of the out of the way ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I started doing the Pengator room, and I'm like, wait a sec. I don't.
And if I may interject, Saboteur has finished in 4th place on the with an official SR time of 2:02:18, and that is good enough for 18th place. And following just right behind him was Sandris 316 in 17th place.
Right, I'm going to head off. Thanks for the restream, guys, and well, maybe till next time.
See
care.
you guys.
Thanks again, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Saboteur will come in for a post game.
Definitely an interesting seed, though. So much potential for being a very quick seed.
Yeah, it was pretty linear, and it required you to double dip and double the turret rock weather. And overall, it wasn't too bad. It was just
It was all about that logically required double dip of TR. I think like if they weren't like overloaded with rupees or anything, it's in the early game. I could definitely see most players skipping out on doing fake flippers. It was just really unfortunate that our one runner who did the fake flippers skipped out on Hobo. It would have been a very different race.
yeah. This would very much be different if the runners had gone for the fake flipper onto Hobo and got the ice rod immediately. This would have made the seed a lot more fast.
Did you say Sabatender would be doing his? Oh yeah, there he is.
Yep. He is going to be joining in about a few seconds, so we'll get. Hello, Saba.
Hey, everybody.
GG.
Hello.
I don't know if we can call that a GG. That was
Fake flippers,
terrible.
am I right?
Yeah. If I wasn't on Restream today, I think when I found the pearl, I probably would have forfeit because I realized that I had botched the seed so badly already. And Pearl where it was there, that's a perfect opportunity to get into the fake flipper and go for it. But because I realized I was so far behind, I couldn't waste any more time. I had to get into the Dark World. So yeah, I didn't fake flipper there.
Well, don't feel bad because only one of our restream runners did the fake flipper, and Chloe skipped out on doing the hobo check and only got the boost.
Ooh, interesting. Yeah, if I'm gonna fake flipper, I guess. Oh, nah. Yeah, I guess you try and do both if you can. Yeah, I don't know. It was just one
I can see both
mistake
sides of
after
it.
another.
The big play though, like in the seed, like beyond just the fake flipper to the ice rod, was going into TR like super early, finding the flute and the mirror, and just having those accessible to you made a big difference in routing and like just time getting around the world. Based on how my early routing went, there was just no way that I was going to go back up to the mountain anytime soon. With not having the Pearl up on the mountain, the first, I don't know, 2 or 3 times that I went up there stupidly. When I've just got Hookshot Cave and then TR, like I just couldn't commit to going back up the mountain again. So if I had gone up there with gloves, with mitts and Pearl and all the goodies that we would have had to get into TR there, I can see this going completely differently. So I don't know, just a collection of bad mistakes. Just kind of compounded into a disastrous seed. I feel like we need to make the distinction though between going to the wrong place and doing the wrong thing, like, because like all the things you did, it's not like you made a bunch of crazy stupid gambles that were never going to pay off or anything. Like everything you did made complete 100% sense. It just didn't lead to the progression. Yeah.
I mean, that's what it was. And I didn't feel, I felt behind, but I felt like everything that I was doing, to try and make up time was kind of making sense. I mean, the only thing that was kind of dumb was trying to go for pedestal. Like that was kind of me banking, on, having already wasted a bunch of time. If it was pedestal, then great, but of course it wasn't. Oh, really?
Yeah, all 4 of our restream runners pulled the ped.
That's interesting. I thought people could have really dodged that, but I don't know. Everything was kind of making sense to me based on what I had, and it just didn't go my way, I guess.
Yeah, about the pedestal. Since the pendant layout was laid on such a way that you were able to do it even if you didn't have the book or something like that. It was pretty much free, and you got a free sword out of it.
Yeah, I guess it was pretty easy to just go for it. The pendant dungeons were easy ones to clear, and you had to dip pendant pot anyways. Or I think you did. I don't know. It was an easy play early in the game. Oh, really?
Yeah, pod was completely skippable. It was bombos and powder in there, which neither were required.
That's true. I definitely kind of lost track of things by the end there. I was just kind of checked out.
Which we were talking about this earlier, because you had skipped the Moon Pearl. Skipping the Moon Pearl actually kind of saved you a little bit because you went to the mountain first. Like there was this world where if you had got the Moon Pearl early and then found mitts in Sahasrar's hut, maybe you skip out on doing Eastern entirely and get like a really late hammer instead.
I don't know about that. I feel like last locationing Pearl probably screwed me over the most. I can't see it working out any better for me
because you went to the mountain though.
Yeah, like I guess.
Like most runners, they like got the Moon Pearl and then went to the eastern area before going to the mountain, so they find like gloves and hammer for Dark World access and get mitts late. Mm-hmm. But because you went to the mountain early, you got gloves up there, and if you had then gone to Sahasrara and got the mitts, but if you hadn't skipped the Moon Pearl, like now I have mitts Moon Pearl, that's Dark World access. I don't want to do pendant Eastern, and then you like miss out on the hammer or something. So last location, the Moon Pearl, like it hurts, but it also saved you a little bit. Because a late hammer would have been way worse than late Merle.
Yeah, I guess there's a way to see it that way. I don't know. It just felt like everything I did was wrong. Oh well. I think you guys have stuck around long enough to watch me suffer. So I just want to thank you guys, Koi, Professor Renderer, for doing the commentary today, and looks like Sapphire and Shade doing the tracking duties. So thanks you guys for putting on a great show here.
Our pleasure.
Yep. So coming up on the pipeline regarding pretty much Ring to the Past, we do have, if I'm not mistaken, we do have a qualifier coming up here on 8/15.
Yes, that will replace the normal 9 p.m. daily. There will be no daily tie-in, instead we have the SG Live qualifier. We're coming up on the end of these qualifiers. Just a few more left.
Yeah. And if you want to watch any other tournaments that's going on that isn't Randomizer, you can look at the schedule. But if you also want to like just keep yourself involved in the Speed Gaming family of channel, be sure to follow Speed Gaming 1 or Speed Gaming itself and Speed Gaming 2 through 6, and our multilingual channels, which includes Dutch, French, Spanish, and Portuguese.
You mean Deutsch?
Deutsch, yeah, same thing.
I don't think we have a Dutch one, do we? I'm pretty sure.
It's still technically Dutch.
Okay.
You get the point. But again, as Saboteur said, thanks to Sapphire and Shade for doing the tracking today and keeping everything up to date, clicking those buttons in the background, and hoping to God that those clicks do not get eaten up by the refresh. And of course, Koi as my co-commentator for this pretty fun scene.
Hi.
And yeah, thanks for watching.
And that'll do it, guys. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.